Whoa! Whoa, hello!
Hello.
Oh,
How's it going?
Hello.
pretty good. Pretty good. We just watched The Hitcher and Beyond Dream's Door, both 80s movies. Is that right? Am I correct there?
I actually don't know when Beyond Dream's Door came out because that was your pick.
That one came out in 1989.
Yeah.
So
I
yes.
think Hitcher is like a little earlier than that. I can.
It's 1986, I think.
Okay,
Yep.
It came out the same year that Big Trouble in Little China came out.
interesting.
Yeah,
Because that was also a movie you downloaded while we were watching this.
yeah. Damn, how the fuck do we start? How do you start talking about Hitcher? Or The Hitcher, sorry.
Well, okay. I thought it was pretty good. What did y'all think of it?
I really like it, like, a lot. I think it definitely would have been a lot better if it was in like a different director's hands, which is why I brought up Big Trouble in Little China, was because I was thinking of like directors from the 80s who would have been like really, really good with this script. And I feel like John Carpenter could have made like a really good like horror thriller. And I guess that's another thing I want to like address before we get too much into the Hitcher is that we or I guess I watched a trailer for this and put it in the bucket um for like Creep Zone movie night, and on Letterbox it's listed as like a horror action thriller. But when you watch it, it's definitely way more like it's like a horror thriller for like the first half and like an action thriller for like the second half.
Yeah.
The trailer really like plays up the horror movie vibes though.
Yeah, they pick all of the like spookiest vibes. Or not vibes,
Which
but
is like fun. But like I feel like it was a little misleading. I don't know, like it did
Yeah.
show off the action pretty well too. But like I was definitely expecting more horror. That's not a
Mhm.
complaint though, because I really like the atmosphere in this. Very like tense. A lot of like very like those kind of moments you get in movies where it's like very strong secondhand anxiety.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, because you just have. Well, I can't actually say that I felt that like while watching this because I'm gay.
Yeah, that's definitely something that stands out in this movie is how fucking
Wow,
gay
rest in
it
peace to
is.
me, but you're different.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about how gay it is real quick.
Like way more than I expected. Like I don't really know exactly what I expected going into this movie, but it's pretty goddamn gay.
It's pretty fucking gay, which is funny because like I was talking to Mishka while me and Mishka were watching this, but like a lot of the gayness is like expressed through violence, which like personally I think that just makes me like it more. So I don't really know how it's like supposed to be viewed because Mishka was talking
Mhm.
about um what did that person say that you were talking about, Mishka, the fucking critic or whatever?
I was reading about how like fuck, god damn it. I was reading about how there was like a critic who said like that it was like a gay panic movie or it had like gay panic themes. And that's definitely like a thing with a lot of like 80s movies.
Yeah, especially like I was gonna say especially horror, but not really. Um I mean kinda. I'm mostly thinking about like Nightmare on Elm Street 2,
Mhm.
which is definitely like a like a personal gay panic thing. Like panicking about being gay, not panicking about like a different person being gay.
Hmm.
Um
But there's like definitely something going on here which like leads me to believe that there might have been more that they wanted to put in that just ended up not making the cut.
Oh,
Um,
go ahead.
that's like I'm not entirely sure about that, but it really does give off that vibe of like they're really trying to go for something a little bit more like explicitly like gay themed. Because there's like something going on in this movie. Like that's undeniable.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And that reminds me that the guy who wrote this is the same guy who wrote Near Dark, which is like another movie that has like that vibe where it's like there's clearly something like gay going on here between two characters. Oh, and fucking on top of that, I'm just now remembering that like all of the gayness in Near Dark is also very violent. So like what is up with this guy who's writing this like violent gay shit? And like why is everyone stopping his violent gay shit from being explicitly gay? Why are they making it so?
Was this written by the same guy who wrote Near Dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's
Uh,
something happening here.
there's something happening.
There's fucking something going on. Like, literally, like, they both just kind of have, like, love interests kind of put in them. I don't think it's as big of a love interest or as big of a thing in this movie. There's just, like, a girl there, and he's,
Mhm.
like hanging out with the girl. I don't think it's entirely romantic. There were times where I was, like, tapped out and stuff, so I might have missed something.
No, yeah,
Like,
it's not romantic at all. Like they don't kiss or do any of that. They're just pals who kill
yeah, okay.
cops together.
But in, like, Near Dark, it's, like, a very clear, like, a straight person put this in here, but put this
Yeah.
random girl in there. It's fucking. I don't know where I was going with that, but
And like I could totally be wrong. Like maybe he writes stuff like this intentionally. Like maybe he has like no interest in like gay relationships or whatever. Or like maybe he doesn't even like think about it. Like maybe he just writes stuff like this and like we're just interpreting it that way. But like
I don't know, it just feels so like obvious, like it was written like this, like very intentionally, at least to me.
and they
this
were
movie,
roommates.
they were, yes, I was gonna say literally like the best like review for this movie would be like there is no heterosexual explanation for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Near Dark
like,
too, but I'm gonna try to not talk about Near Dark too much.
and I kind of think it's like I feel like you almost have to like watch this movie to like really get the extent of it. Like, there's something going on in this movie.
Well,
There's
the
there's
character, like near the end of the movie, like it says something along the lines of that too.
yeah, like literally, yeah.
Like, come on now.
There's literally a character that talks to the main character, Pony Boy. He's like, "There's something going on between you two. I don't know what it is." And yeah, dude.
There sure is.
Called homosexuality. You should try it.
It's just so. I just wish that like they took the end of this movie and made it different. I just wish it was edited different. I wish this was directed different because it's a good
Yes.
movie, but it's like a little bit too like okay. So for anyone who's listening, for context, we have the movie playing in the background, um, and there's this scene like 13 minutes in where the Hitcher gets picked up by a different family and Ponyboy is driving in his car and the family like passes him up and then the Hitcher like comes up and looks at him through like the back windshield of the family car. And I think that you probably could have cut this scene out and it would have been fine. Oh, you know what? I'm actually just thinking there's that other scene where he's like chasing him with the truck and like tries to set him on fire. Like if you wanted to do, I just think that they had like too many ideas for showing you like how like violent the Hitcher is or how like gay the Hitcher is. And I think that they should have stuck with one, or like they should have found a way to like combine the two, because I think that's part of what made the pacing feel so
Yeah.
difficult. because it's only an hour and 30 minutes, but like
It feels like a 2-hour movie though.
it feels like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
I would definitely think about doing like a fan edit of this. I've been thinking about it. I think that like some of the shots are kind of boring too. Like they do some really interesting stuff, which really like stands out. Like there's a scene where they have Pony Boy and they're like interviewing him at like a cop station, and they're doing that thing where they're taking the camera and like rotating it around one character while like dialogue is happening. Thought that was pretty neat. I like when movies do that. Yeah, your turn.
I think like the highlight of like shots in this movie are when he's like outside just in like the middle of fucking nowhere in Texas, just like the open road, no other cars except for him and maybe like a hitcher or like a cop or something. Like it's very sparse. We don't see a lot of people until like around the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly like a very quaint, like road trip movie almost.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a lot of cops in it. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. That was something I was thinking about. I definitely just really like all the like landscape shots in this. I think that's kind of its like strong suit in terms of like cinematography.
And it's out in like West Texas too, so it's like a lot of mountains and shit. Or no, actually, I don't think it's too far out in West Texas, because at one point they say that they have a guy coming in from Austin, so it's got to be like close-ish to Austin, which actually that makes sense because there are a lot of mountains out there like that. There's a lot of like old people communities and shit out there. It's kind of like a mountainous, like weird desert area. I'm from Texas. I'm an expert.
Oh, you're from Texas? No fucking way, dude.
Anyway.
Fucking crazy.
Oh, you're from Texas? Name every cowboy.
You just bring the Texas knowledge to the table, and that's important, especially when it's a movie that takes place in Texas.
Guessing my age.
But yeah, I like that this movie takes place in Texas. It definitely feels like a very Texas movie.
I think that, like, not to be like someone who's like sucking Coen Brothers' dicks, and not that I've like watched No Country for Old Men like twice within the past like month, but like there's so many like you talked about like the landscape shot or landscape shots. I really like I don't like the interior shots. I think that like stuff that took place in interior spaces could have been shot in a more interesting way.
It was definitely the weaker shots of the movie.
Yeah. That's why I think about No Country for Old Men though, because a lot of stuff in that movie is very like mundane, but like the way everything like looks is like very interesting, and I feel like it's very like immersive, like as you can get with a movie. Like I don't know, there's just something that like really like sucks you in with No Country for Old Men that makes you like really feel like you're there. And like I wish they did a little bit more of that with the Hitcher, which it just like brings me back to my point about how like I wish it was directed by someone else, because
Definitely.
I don't even know what else this director did because I didn't bother to look it up.
Besides Near Dark, no idea.
Actually, it's not the same director for Near
Dark. Oh,
writer.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Also, something else I wanted to mention. This is the second car movie we've done an episode of for this podcast.
True.
We should watch Christine.
Oh yes, please. Another very gay car movie.
I think the more I watch like car movies, the more I'm like, damn, I really fucking like car movies.
Yeah.
Especially when like the stunts are like real, you know.
Yes, oh my god, that's the big thing about the Hitcher, is that the car stunts are fucking awesome. There's so many cars on fire in this movie.
Like
Yeah,
the gas station scene is very
there's a
fun.
fucking plane going over my head right now.
Well, is that a Final Destination reference?
Oh, whoa. Oh, shit. Yes, it is actually.
That's so cool. Don't die.
Um, Also, oh, another thing I want to mention, the girl from Existence is also a main character in this. That's something that
Oh
Harvey told me.
yeah.
I was gonna bring that up. Fuck you.
What the fuck? Fuck you.
Be
Get
faster
out of
next
here.
time.
Too slow. Download too slow.
Anyway, Allegra Geller's in this movie. Did you know that?
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's so cool. I've never heard anyone say that before.
um, there's that scene. Okay, so for because we're gonna have to start fucking like addressing people who listen to this at some point. But like, for anyone who didn't watch it, there's Allegra Geller. I don't remember. Oh, Nash. Nash is the name of her character, which is pretty
Yes.
fucking cool. She gets like torn in half because the Hitcher like kidnaps her and then like ties her ankles to a truck and her wrists to another truck, and he like I don't even know how to fucking like explain what that whole situation was. He's just the whole movie, the Hitcher is just trying to get Ponyboy to kill him for some reason. Like, I'm not really sure why. It's just Ponyboy. Like, he won't let anyone else kill
Nah,
him.
he kills like multiple cops.
He kills a fuckload of cops. He also like he kills cops that are trying to kill him. Like, they're trying to kill Ponyboy. So
I like
he
how we
kills
keep
them.
calling him Ponyboy instead of his name, like the
I don't
character
remember
name.
his name.
I
It's
don't.
Jim, I believe.
Are you
It's either
sure?
like Jim or like James, I think.
I'm pretty
It's
sure I saw the Jim be the name of the credits.
I'm
okay.
pretty
That's
sure you're
probably,
right.
yeah, that sounds right. Whatever. Jim.
What the fuck? Oh. I actually need
Um
to add the Hitcher to my letterbox. So I can check that out. Yes, it is Jim.
Okay, that's what I
um
thought.
Yeah.
the music in this movie is really good.
The soundtrack in this is great. I really
It
liked it.
slaps. It slaps pretty
Um,
hard.
I think it's probably like the strongest part of this movie. Or at least like I think it really adds to this movie. I think if the soundtrack wasn't as good, I don't think I'd like this as much.
Hmm.
Like it just really adds to the atmosphere of this movie, and I think like the atmosphere in general is just like the strongest suit of this movie.
Yeah, yes. I super agree with what you're saying. I was just thinking about how like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a way to describe this, so please definitely cut out all the pauses because I know that I have really fucking long ones. Um, you know how like Coen Brothers movies are just like people are doing things and interacting with each other, and then they go and do a different thing and they interact with more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
This movie has a lot of that, and I think that that's another reason I keep thinking of the Coen Brothers, is because like they make it like look like really good, and they make it interesting. Like, here's another shot that I really like where he just goes into this like dark bathroom and all the lights are off because Nash still hasn't finished opening this diner truck stop thing, and it's just nice. It's a dark bathroom,
He's like all
looks good.
sweaty,
It's just
just
good.
looks anxious as fuck.
It's just it's very like mood. setting. I don't know. It's very atmospheric, I guess, is like what I was thinking of.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why talking about the music made me think of that. Oh, because you were talking about how the music adds to the atmosphere. Okay.
Um, fucking hate the cops in this movie.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
I just fucking hate cops in general. Um, so like that definitely clouds my opinion a little bit. But like when I talk about like the secondhand like anxiety, it's like entirely because of the cops just being fucking idiots.
That makes me think about how so like he calls the cops after he gets to the diner to be like, hey, this dude tried to kill me and then I saw him kill a family. Like they arrive, but like for some reason they immediately like point a gun at him and like I don't understand why.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's because the Hitcher like framed him. The movie touches on that.
Oh yeah, well I remember yeah, cuz he puts like a bloody switchblade in his pocket somehow. I literally don't know how, but like the Hitcher does like literally like multiple times in this movie. He just appears out of nowhere, which is like super crazy to me. And someone mentioned while we were watching this that they thought that the plot twist was going to be that the Hitcher was just Ponyboy's imagination, which like made me so mad because like it actually kind of made sense because like the Hitcher does just kind of like show up out of nowhere sometimes and like I don't know, like up to a certain point, I was like, God damn it, that is the fucking twist, isn't it? Um, very glad that it's not because I would have been really upset.
I was gonna say I was like thinking through the movie and I was like, I don't think there's anything that disproves that, but there definitely is because like the Hitcher does get arrested at the end and
Yeah,
he
like
like
more towards
takes
the
out
end,
that
it becomes
bus.
obvious.
Well,
Yeah.
there's also the beginning where like he talks to the guy, they're like doing road maintenance or whatever. That's the part where the Hitcher grabs Ponyboy's dick, and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be that type of movie. And then the like construction worker was talking to both of them and referred to them as sweethearts. So it's definitely like a point where like the character was acknowledged as being real, and I was
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I just ooh, really am glad that that was not the twist ending because I would have been.
Um oh sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say it would have fucking sucked. You go ahead.
Yeah, no, like oh, I like this scene that's coming up right now where he's in the diner, he's eating like a burger and fries, and there's literally just someone's finger in there. And I think it's implied that like the Hitcher did that. And I
I
don't.
don't. I think it was just like I. I got the vibe that it was just like not a PTSD thing, but like he's just freaking out because he's being like chased by the Hitcher, and also he saw dead bodies earlier.
Okay,
That's what
that's fair.
that's what I thought it
I was
was.
like, I wasn't sure. Like, you could definitely make like, or no, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm gonna edit this part out. Uh, because I figured it was actually happening, but I guess there's no evidence that the Hitcher's there. But also, like, he does just show up and just like
Yeah.
cause chaos randomly. Like, he's a little problem clown.
Yeah, that's something I was thinking about too, because Jade mentioned that there's like the switchblade that the cops find when they go through his like pockets and shit, and it's got like blood on it. Like, when the fuck did the Hitcher put that in his pockets?
I mean, the only opportunity he had was like while he was, in the car with him at the beginning.
Or like, I don't fucking know. Because I was thinking about that because I was like, okay, but like, what if the finger was real though? Like, would the Hitcher do something like that? Like, he could have done. He could have. Maybe it was real. That's the thing. Is if this movie was handled just a little bit differently, I don't think we would be asking these questions. I think
Yeah.
JS. That's all I'm saying.
Hear what you're saying.
I'm gonna see
Well,
if
like
I
we were saying, like, imagining, like, what if, say, like, John Carpenter was the director for this movie? Like, how would it be?
think it would definitely be like, I think that he would have done more interesting things with like the camera work, and
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe he would have.
It'd
I
probably
don't
feel
know.
more like a thriller than, like, kind of just an action movie. 'Cause, like, it is a thriller, but I feel like it could be more,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, there's
exactly.
more there to work with that just, like, that didn't happen. Like, that's basically how I feel about, like, the movie. Like, I like it. Like, I do like it a lot. Like, it's not, like, horrible or anything, but, like, it's one of those movies where I see so much, like, potential that just
Mhm.
they didn't do any of the things I would have done.
Which is really funny that you say that, because unless anyone has anything else to add about the Hitcher, this would be a good way to segue into talking about Beyond Dream's Door, which is another movie that I feel like had a lot of potential and like could have done just like a little bit better.
Yes.
Just want to check real quick. Does anyone have anything to add about Hitcher, the Hitcher?
I like Rutger Howard.
I love her. Oh, one more thing I had to say was that um there's a restaurant in the background at some point called Roy's, and I thought that was very funny because it's
Yes,
the name in Blade Runner.
very funny.
Funny.
Funny. Cars go fast. Vroom vroom. Beep beep.
uh,
That's all I have to say about the Hitcher. That's my review.
oh, I guess we should. Okay, if you want to. Okay, I'm trying to think of who I would like suggest the Hitcher. Okay, I would suggest the Hitcher to gay guys who like violence.
I would suggest it to gay cowboys who like
Oh,
cars.
yeah, yeah.
Are you gay? Do you like evil gay dudes? Here you go.
Do you like leather jackets? Do you like cowboy jeans? Do you like what Rucker Howard? Do you like Pony Boy? Do you like good music? Do you like movies that aren't super great but they're still pretty good?
What would your rating be of The Hitcher? What would you rate this film?
A bag of popcorn, a Diet Coke, and a cigarette.
I gave it a 3.5 car crashes.
3.5 car crashes.
Yeah.
God, yeah. There's...
I'd give it 5 guns out of 10 potential guns.
Oh yeah, there's
What's
a
a
lot of
potential gun?
You can get 10 guns. Like you can get a
maybe.
full rating of 10 guns, but this movie only gets 5 guns.
Okay.
I have to pee, so I'll be right back.
So Beyond Dream's Door. I liked it. I personally really liked it. I think like part of attachment for me is I like really had to go out of my way to find like a file for it or whatever. Like I had to like I don't remember where I ended up finding it. But it took me a really long time, and I felt special for finding it.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those
Um,
movies that feels that way. Like Isn't it like an actual like student film?
I actually don't think it's like literally a student film. It is filmed on the Ohio State University campus, which is like made me think that it was, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a regular independent shot on video horror film.
Hmm. I would believe it either way.
But it definitely does have like it's like definitely a micro budget movie, but there's like a lot of really cool ideas and practical effects they jam into it. I think a lot of the budget was spent on its effects.
I feel like
Um,
you're right. Like it had to have been the most expensive part of making this because it feels like hang on. Um sorry. A lot of the places feel like they're filmed like it's someone's house, you know? Like someone
yeah,
volunteered to let their house be like the interior of some of the shots. And then like some of the other public shots that aren't like in the warehouse, I feel like those are in the school because like isn't there trivia or something that says that like some of this was filmed like on the Ohio campus? Oh no, wait, you said that already. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I'm just getting my shit fucked up.
What the fuck? What the hell? I think like all the campus shots are from like the OSU campus. I fucking lost my one thing that like Jade specifically was saying, maybe that's something you should say or like elaborate on, is that it really does feel like an FMV game. I think you were the person to say that.
Yeah, because like I am a fan of FMV games a lot, which if you don't know what an FMV game is, FMV stands for full motion video, which just means that the game has like pre-recorded like live action video files. So it's a very like old like weird niche like video game thing. And those games like have a very particular like low budget like weird like not very good acting, and they're often like in the horror genre. So like this basically just feels like one of
Hmm.
those
But
except a full movie,
I
which
definitely
I
know what
you
you
really
can
really
mean.
really
enjoy.
like you can really feel that like they had fun making this too. Um, like people just
Yeah.
fucking like running around like and like there's like this one part where like the main character has like a very clearly like makeup slash on his forehead because he got hit in the head with like a mirror. Um, but like it just has a very fun like almost taking itself too seriously, but also not taking itself seriously kind of vibe.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely has a good mix of those.
That
Um,
I feel
I
like
feel like
sorry, I don't want to interrupt like either of y'all.
oh, you're good.
no,
We all have ADHD.
it's fine. I feel like you're about to say what I was gonna
Um
say, so go on.
I was just gonna say that like I didn't really think about that about how like it does have that vibe that like it it takes itself seriously but like it doesn't, and I think what that is like I think they definitely had like fun making this, but like the subject material that they're working with they take seriously, but they're not taking like the filmmaking aspect of it seriously, and not in like a negative way,
Hmm.
but just in a like we just want to efficiently tell this story the way that we want to tell it type of way.
Yeah, like I like they're not trying too hard in a way that I feel like would
Hmm.
be like a detriment to the movie. You know what I mean? Like I have the feeling the people that made this, like, you know, it's low budget. It has like that student film vibe
Hmm. I
to
feel
it. You know what I
like
mean? But it isn't like bad or
yeah.
horrible because of that. You
Misha,
know?
do you remember what you were gonna say about it?
I was gonna say that it really like I don't want to use like the word cerebral to like describe a movie, but it really does have that kind of feeling. There's like a lot of themes that it tries to present that you kind of have to like track in your head to see where it's going with, and like not to do this again for another podcast episode in a row, but it's kind of a movie you have to watch like twice to like really understand the point it's trying to make or like what's going on. And even then, it's kind of just like really hard to explain. I think it kind of like loses
Yeah.
itself in like what it's trying to say.
We also didn't have subtitles. We could not find subtitles for this movie, which I think is like part of the reason why it was like kind of hard for me to
Definitely, yeah.
follow. You know,
Even though
without watching
everyone
it a second
talks like
time.
they're in like a fucking like public access TV series, or not even public access, but like the acting kind of feels like porn acting. It kind of also feels like, yeah, it's
It's
definitely
FMV
FMV
acting.
acting, yeah. The music is what makes me think of like a public access or like after school special type thing. I can't
God,
even fucking
yeah.
remember where I brought that up.
I fucking love the music in this. Like, how would you describe it? Like, it's a very particular feel.
Throughout the movie,
But I feel like you only
Danny
find in stuff
Elfman
like
for
yeah,
this, you know?
kids.
throughout the
Kids
movie, I
kids
like
caught
was
Danny
describing
Elfman.
it as like goblin music.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Which like it's just like very silly, like
Like silly clown circus, like xylophone music, while also trying to be like get like that spooky horror vibe, but like in a really
I
goofy way. But I thought it was like
I think it
really
might be
fun.
stock music. Um, that wouldn't
Oh yeah,
surprise
maybe.
me. But it does have a very stock music kind of feel.
It does also just have like FMV horror game vibes. And I'm saying that as someone who's only played Harvester, but like it is kind of like Harvester music. It's like weird, like goofy shit, but it's like spooky, goofy shit.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think like other alternative ways to describe this movie, but I just keep coming back to FMV because that's
So
just
like,
what it feels like, you
imagine
know?
if this game was on like the Sega CD. So the screen is like fucking like microscopic, and it's like the quality is like fucking like baked, and like the frame rate is only like 10 frames a second. Like it wouldn't feel that out of the ordinary or unusual as like a Sega CD game.
God, this is making me like so fucking horny. Just like the thought of making this like okay, I just want you to think about how you could take a good chunk of this footage. Yeah,
And make an
but you
FMV
could
game out of it.
also like add
Yes.
more of like the gore and shit to it to make it like a little bit more like scary and like high stakes. And like I have such a huge boner right now. Like God, I want to play a fucking video game so bad.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. There's like a specific like vibe that this movie has with the fucking weird ass plot that I like barely understand. Let me like just like say real quick that the first time I watched this I was high as shit and I was like losing my fucking mind over like how fun this movie was. But like
You were. You were
of
like,
like
this is gonna
yeah
be my new favorite
and
movie of
then
all
like
time.
today like before we recorded I was like I don't remember fucking anything that happened in this movie, which like you know after watching it again like sped up like we usually do with movies that one of us doesn't remember, mostly me, like I remember it now. It's just like towards the end like it's just another one of those movies that I feel like has like a weird like pacing problem, but like I can't think of what I would have done
Yeah.
differently. I think maybe there's just like information they could have conveyed in different ways, or like maybe like a scene that we didn't need. but like aside from that, like what it's about, which Misha could explain it better, just makes me think of like it makes me think of Nightbreed. It makes me think of like other Clive Barker shit, and like I don't really know like how to describe that, but like that also adds to like the FMV thing because I feel like you could make like a sick like Clive Barker inspired like this specific movie FMV game.
God.
Hmm.
Can we please bring back like
For-
FMV
for
games and like
fuck's
point and
sake.
click
Oh
horror
my
games?
fucking
Please,
god.
please, please! I'm dying here.
Mishka, can you please explain what this movie's about?
Okay.
For the
It's kind
audience.
of hard to explain what it's about, but basically, the movie follows Benjamin Dobbs, a college student who begins having like extreme nightmares after having like a life of like never dreaming. Um, and like perplexed by this, he starts writing his dreams down. He starts passing them around to his school psychology department. Um, and he starts noticing that the overlap between him being awake and him dreaming is starting to get thinner. Um, and some weird shit starts happening to him. He starts seeing like weird shit that he just thinks he's like dreaming, but he's not quite sure what's going on. So he talks to the head of the psychology department. I forgot what his name is. And then the
Who
next
cares?
day, the head of the psychology department is completely missing. Like no evidence that he like ever existed aside from like 3 people in this movie being able to remember who he is. These 3 people are now like sucked, or not like sucked into like a dream world, but like his dreams escape into reality and are trying to remove all proof that they exist because they're mad that he like forgot his, or they're mad that like Benjamin Dobbs like forgot his dreams. Is basically like the easiest way I can put it. Um, it gets
Yeah,
a little
like
twisted. It's definitely like not entirely coherent. I kept saying while we were watching this earlier today that it really does operate on like dream logic.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And
Mhm.
like I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like a fault. I think that if you're a certain type of person, and I can't remember if you said this or not already, but like I think you'd only like this if you're a certain type of person. And I think if you
yeah, for
are that
sure,
certain
for
type
sure.
of person, it would be best to watch it with like your friends who also have the similar traits of that certain type of person.
I
'Cause-
think you really have to have like a tolerance for like 80s shot on video horror. Like 80s low budget horror. You have to have like a good tolerance for that, I think.
Hmm.
Because it definitely reeks of like 80s low budget horror movie, which isn't a bad thing, but like it depends on who you are. I think to some people that like this movie would just be really boring.
which like
Or they would just hate it.
what I would say to that too is that like I can understand why you would think it was boring, but like there are a lot of things that I really like about this movie that makes any part of it that could be considered boring like worth it. Like there's a lot of stuff in this movie that I like that I don't mind like sitting through, which is like I think I was saying this while we were watching it. I don't remember if it was the first time or the second time we watched it that I said this, but like it makes me think of the same reasons I like Brain Damage from Frank Henenlotter. Like there's just a lot of really good shit that I like in that movie that would make like other parts of the movie that like aren't as strong like worth it, which personally I don't think there's anything wrong with Brain Damage, but I think that there's like a couple people out there who really don't like it. um But now I'm getting off topic because I have ADHD and I like horror movies. I just
Whoa, no
I
way.
just think Beyond Dreams Door is neat. I don't think it has that many problems. I just think that it's like kind of heady, and
Mhm.
I just like don't know what I would change about it. You know?
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, yeah, I don't think there's anything I'd change about it because, like, I feel like what people would consider flaws for it, which is like, low budget, 80s horror, like very bad, like stunted acting, like weird disjointed plot. Like, I
Hmm.
like those things
Yeah,
about it.
and like
Like that makes it fun to watch for
I think
me.
like I would honestly love to have seen what could have been done if this movie were made on like a higher budget with like maybe better actors. But as it
Hmm.
stands, as it exists right now, it is still like a really fun movie with like a lot of really impressive like technical aspects to it that I don't think should be overlooked. There's
Like
like
the
some really
monster, for
good there's
example,
some
and
really
like some
good
of the gore.
cinematography. I really like the dream sequences. And I just really like how like psychedelic this movie is.
Yeah, like one of the notes that I have written down is I really like further into the movie, the dream sequences become more like really quick shots of like random shit, which made me think of like how at like in Donnie Darko every time he like goes to sleep he has those like weird like dream images. um
Yes.
this movie made
Yeah.
me think of that.
Donnie Darko
Honestly,
ripped off this movie.
I remember saying a lot like the first time we were watching this that like this movie was literally Donnie Darko. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
And
joking
then
about
you were
that a
talking
lot.
Donnie
about
Darko stole my money and my weed, and I'm looking for him.
where's that little edge lord.
Where's that little fucker? Where's that little cat boy? Um, but yeah, I really like how this movie is really like it's really ambitious. Is the word I would use for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would say that too.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes it's almost like too ambitious, but that's like part of the charm, is that it's like they really wanted to do something big with their budget, and I think they really pulled it off.
Like they definitely tried their best with what they had.
How long is this movie?
It's like an hour and a half, I think, right? Let me check. An hour and 20 minutes.
So what is it about this movie that makes it feel so long? I mean, I just want to I
Probably
just want to watch this
pacing.
movie again like relatively soon.
Yeah, no, me too. Like, I think like probably the biggest thing is maybe like there's a lot of repeating elements, which is it's kind of like part of it's like the point of it kind of that there's like they all like everybody who's like being terrorized by like the dream monster or whatever in this movie, um, they're all experiencing like the same elements from this guy's dream. I think that's one of the things that they kind of like try to point out. Um, because he like writes about like encountering like the janitor with like no hands who like is like, hey, you want to shake my hand? He just like laughs at him. Like that's something that happens to like one of the other like teachers' aides or whatever. I don't know what their specific position was, but that's like something that happens to like one of the other characters too. So I think it's like there's a lot of like repeating elements in it.
You know what I think might like literally be the problem? I think that like it literally just needs subtitles.
Yeah,
Cuz like I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of really difficult to keep up with like the minor details that make the plot make sense, because there are a lot of moments where I'm asking like what's going on or like who's talking about what, and like I think that's just like my biggest issue. Which like I don't even know like why I think I've just become like that dependent on subtitles for like processing what's going on, which fucking sucks. I was also gonna say that like there's just like a lot of stuff going on in this movie. Cause like every time like you mention something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Like there's just a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to keep up with. I feel like, but that might just be me.
I'm sorry, don't mind me. I'm opening the Swole edible package.
Yes, you should definitely do that.
I'm only gonna take half of it because these things fucking send me to space. They're like the strawberry banana sour belts.
Fuck yeah!
And they will literally send you to space if you're not ready for it.
I love that our podcast is literally just like weed and horror movies.
Weed,
Yeah,
horror,
weed,
ADHD.
horror movies, ADHD, and trans people.
Yes, yes.
You love to see it.
You love to see it.
I wonder where my Cheetos went.
I ate them.
Fucking sucks.
Don't leave Cheetos unattended
Okay,
while I'm around.
whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, I think maybe. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just adding that bit. I was like, fine.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm gonna look at my
Bye.
notes.
I did want to say that one. I actually had 2 points I wanted to bring up. One, I love how fucking gory this movie is. Like, the practical effects are like great. Like, I think that's like the biggest strong suit of this movie. I don't think I'd like it as much if it weren't for like the really fucking good practical effects.
I wouldn't say
Mm-hmm.
that they're great personally, but I will say that they look fucking awesome.
Yeah, like I was like looking at Letterboxd reviews of this, and somebody made a really good point about it, where nothing's on screen long enough for you to notice like the DIY shit factor of it. Like you see everything just long enough to still be impressed by it.
Yeah, which like I was definitely gonna
Yeah.
bring that up because they show you like the dream monster like head, like I want to say like maybe twice, and it's just long enough for you to be like, ugh, gross monster, but like also like, ooh, cool monster. Like right before you're like, oh, this model looks like shit. Which like even if it did look like shit, I appreciate it so much more than I would appreciate like nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I really like cheap practical effects. Like I don't need something to be realistic for me to like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just needs to be
Yeah.
It's
fun.
not like so it's not so cheap that it's boring either. Like they still had to like make models and shit, and they still had to like use like what's the word I'm looking for? They still had to like use shit to make the shit look like shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
The other point I wanted to make is that this movie is literally like a dinosaur movie. Like the monster is literally like a dinosaur.
I'm shaking.
And I just really appreciate that.
I didn't even notice until like we were watching again, and you pointed out the toy dinosaur that's like on the floor in like certain parts of the dream sequences. Like I didn't even notice that until you pointed that out.
I think it took me until the second time we were watching too to be like, oh, yeah, okay.
I think it was
That makes
because
sense.
I was the only person who noticed that like there's like the scene where he's running through the sewer grate or whatever. Not the grate, the fucking sewer. I don't know, the big concrete tube thing. Yeah, the sewer.
The
Okay,
sewer.
whatever. Anyway, he's running through the sewer after that guy, and then like the like camera looks down at the ground, and there's like boards and like other random shit, and there's that dinosaur toy from earlier, and then it shows the guy like running across that shot, and then it like changes to a different shot. Which like, Misha, were you saying something about how you like how this movie is shot?
I can't remember. There's like a lot. I think like maybe yeah, because there's like none of the shots in here are like amazing. Obviously, it's just like um, it's just like kind of just like random shots. But there's also like some really good like cinematography in general. I don't really know how to explain what I'm thinking. A lot of the shots are really like mundane, but the way they like show those shots is like really good. The way it's presented, I like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was thinking about it, and they're just very like, they're very efficient, but like in a good way. And I don't know how to describe it
Yeah.
either. Like, I also like how this movie looks. Like, I can't remember if we said this earlier or not, like, again, but like, this movie just gets like right to the point with what it's trying to say. It's just like the way that it tries to say it is like just a little bit convoluted. I don't know. I really like this movie, and again, I just want to watch it like more.
Yeah.
I just
Mhm.
wish it had some
Um,
things.
I think it really just like invigorates my passion for just digging up random shit I find on Letterboxd because it's like it's just like because like I had there's another movie that I literally spent like a whole week downloading because it only had like one seater off of like some random torrent site, and it was just really fucking boring and like nothing happened. And I was kind of like, well, shit, like that fucking sucked. But then you find something like this, and you're like, wow, I really like stumbled upon like a really fun movie that I want to like show other people.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely agree. Please ignore that I'm opening crackers. I probably should not be doing this. I was trying to
Why don't you
do it. Well,
mute
because what
yourself?
if you guys said something to me and I on fast enough? Leave me alone. Let me eat crackers in peace. Let me eat crackers during us recording a podcast, please.
You're fine. I'm literally eating
Let
cookies
my
right
man
now.
eat.
I'm trying to look at my notes to see if I have any extra things to say, which is literally the only other things I have to say is that there's that one point where two different actors are wearing the same shirt, which, for context, we're watching the movie again while we're recording this, and it's literally on the part where the two guys are wearing the same shirt. I don't know why, it's just really funny.
They're literally wearing the
It's the same
exact
fucking,
same
like,
Yeah,
if
what
shirt.
the
you
fuck?
decide to watch this, if you're out there and you have some way to watch this, which please, I definitely suggest you watch this. Towards the end. Oh no, this is towards the middle of the movie. I forgot. God, this movie feels so fucking long. I don't even know why. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I suggest it. I suggest this movie to Donnie Darko fans, Brain Damage fans, and I haven't seen Carnosaur, but I feel like Carnosaur is like the same type of like low budget movie that like isn't that good, but like is still fun to watch. Maybe. But I haven't seen Carnosaur, so I can't actually. So I take that back. Actually, just if you're a Brain Damage fan, or a Donnie Darko fan, or a Jack Frost fan, but specifically the horror Jack Frost. I can't remember what year that came out. I think it was 1986, but I could be wrong. That movie fucking rules. We should watch that soon.
I was gonna say that like if you're a fan of like the dream sequences from like early Nightmare on Elm Street movies, this would appeal to you. Because there's a lot of that same like lighting and like just like fucked up shit happening.
Oh shit. Okay, I don't want to interrupt, but I found the director's
Oh,
Twitter. Look at his first post.
I love this.
oh no way! I fucking
Yeah.
followed him. His DMs aren't open. That's a shame. I really want to be like, yeah. Sometimes I feel.
Just at him. Fuck it. Like, yo, dude.
Oh, so they're actually planning a re-release of this movie, which is really exciting to hear.
Oh
Oh
yay!
I will
shit.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
literally pick this up I will literally pay like money out of my own pocket to get this movie.
Please leave this
Fucking
part in
awesome.
the podcast when you're editing, but look at this tweet where he says, "My favorite giant isopod," and it's just a picture of a giant isopod.
I really like this
love
guy.
Me
this
too,
guy.
bro.
Yeah. Oh my god, and he's been posting like recently too. Oh, this fucking rules. He posted like 7 hours ago.
About this movie, which is
It's
so
so
funny.
fucking
like,
exciting.
Should I want to like comment on like a tweet about the movie and be like, wow, I feel like, or I'm like so I just want to say that I'm like genuinely really excited for this. I just discovered this movie like a few weeks ago and it's really good, and I will literally buy the re-release.
I will literally buy the re-release. This is fucking awesome.
I would love to support this
Three of
movie.
us pop up, instantly just start knocking on your door. Hello, sir. We like your movie.
The gay people have arrived.
The gay people have arrived. You're speaking
God,
directly.
it's funny
in your
because
ear
I feel
now.
like I was talking like so much shit, but like I like genuinely really like this movie. Like I feel the same way I did on Saturday when we watched this for movie night, where I was saying I think this is going to be my new favorite movie. Well, you know what? It kind of still is. So take that.
He joined Twitter March of this year. Just really funny.
That's
'cause
fucking
that's when he's
awesome.
discovered this movie.
Did like this movie? Did him and this movie just like get put into the universe like recently?
The stars
Yeah,
aligned.
Actually, I have more good news.
What?
The re-release is going to be getting the release date's going to be announced on April. But the re-release is also apparently going to be coming out like later in April.
Hmm.
So we don't have to wait
That's
a
so
long
cool.
time, which is very exciting.
Where's my stimmy Jimmy?
Yeah, no, for real. I will literally buy this as soon as it comes out.
We ended up talking about Beyond Dream's Door a lot more than The Hitcher.
Interesting. I feel like there was just more to talk about with this movie because there's just more to unpack. Because like
Yeah.
the picture was kind of like, oh, the gay cowboy car movie, which isn't a bad thing. It's just like a lot more straightforward than this movie is.
This movie's just really unique. This feels more unique in certain aspects, you know? So I just feel like I had more on my mind
Definitely.
to talk about.
Do y'all have anything to add? Because I think I'm good. I'm super satisfied with getting his Twitter out there and learning about that shit. I'm good to go.
Same.
Yeah, no, me too. Very, very exciting developments that just happened live in this podcast. Like, we didn't come in here knowing about any of this, really. Just like of his Twitter stuff, I mean.
Yeah, I was just curious. I was like, okay, I just want to see if he's on Twitter.
Really great. I hope that like we can get the word out a little bit more for this. I would love to see more people interested in this movie for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
absolutely.
very quiet movie night. It was basically just us. So yeah, I would love, which like that's not me complaining about like how many people were there. That's me saying that like we didn't get to show a lot of people, and I would like to show people.
Yeah,
it would be nice.
And that null and void's the other thing I was saying about uploading this movie to YouTube. Like, don't fucking do that. Fucking get the re-release.
Yeah. If
Exactly.
there's a re-release, just get that.
He deserves your money for sure.
Because it's gonna be in high quality.
Get the re-release and then watch it like once a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
now.
Make it a new tradition in your life.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that now too. So you won't be able to.
Cool, me too.
Yes.
Today I will.
Yes.
Yes.
I give this movie a cup of lean a joint, and 2 bags of popcorn.
I give this movie 1 giant isopod.
Fuck!
1 star for every leg.
God, that's so good. What about you, Jade?
I give this movie 4 FMV.
Yes. Okay. Goodbye. Wait.
Farewell.
Next
Until next
time.
time.
Which next time? Oh yeah, next weekend we're watching Friday the 13th, Part 7, and then The Ritual. So that's gonna be really fun. I'm really looking
That will
forward
be very
to both
fun.
of those.
Excited. Friday the 13th was my suggestion.
Whoa.
Because this last
Whoa.
weekend, Beyond Dream's Door was Mishka's suggestion, and then The Hitcher was mine. So, yeah, then it's your turn next, and then Jackie's after that, and then I didn't look to see who's.
Yeah, I don't remember who's after that, but
Follow us on YouTube, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe, like and subscribe on Twitter.
Follow us on Discord.
Subscribe on Discord. Join our Discord and like and subscribe on Discord.
Subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to click the like button. If you like us, give us $1 on our Ko-fi, which is in our description. Like and subscribe.
Hit the little bell by the subscribe button so you get notified every time we release a new podcast episode.
Hit the subscribe button next to the bell so that you can listen and subscribe on Ko-fi.
Okay, this is going on too long.
Okay.
I gotta cut it.
All right.